to all the men in this house, it's up to us. Let us send a message that is going to tell our women and girls that we value them, and we will commit ourselves to creating a safe and secure environment for all of our women and girls. Remember, the youngest person that was accused of sorcery, na only rape him, na brook him or bun blong him, she was 5 years old. That happened in our country. It happened under our watch. Now this la parliament, they must have him neck, blow him, na talk, no God, no more. Stop him. We cannot operate under the disguise of Christianity and call ourselves prayer warriors. Na bay mi kam go na maki mo bla Mary. Mama bla fight bla piginin na talk, ta sole asanguma kill him. The violence we see against our women and girls is because we are becoming a violent, lawless nation. Best plus suggestion where Governor Blomorbe making, where me talk long chemical castration. It is done in other countries. Now, Misa, you may plan laugh. But if that bill comes on this floor, you will have the support, if that amendment comes here, of the people of ECP.
May I ask him, Governor of ECP, Honorable Allan Bird?
Thank you, Madam Assistant Speaker. Na me too makim mouse belong all people belong ECP. Me play hama strulo lukim all someone bla Mary Olims displasiana. Give him steer lo mi bla. And let me also say that it was a breath of fresh air. I think your rulings are quite good, and you know your job obviously from the work you've done in the autonomous region of Bougainville. So let me also pass my personal congratulations. Me too, me like supporting presentation belong chairman the parliamentary committee where me stop also deputy chair. Me like look sabetu na talk thank you long Prime Minister Marape. Long first you play make him special committee long last parliament, and now you play give him permanent parliamentary committee. So Prime Minister, let me commend you and thank you for this initiative. Madam Assistant Speaker, I think one of the things that came through from all of the consultations that we had with the public is that the main cause of perpetrators, I guess, being encouraged to continue to perpetrate the violence we see against our women and girls is because we are becoming a violent, lawless nation. We are almost like the Wild West in the US, I think in the 18 and 1900s, where we read in the comics about how men conducted themselves. They were all a law unto themselves. Unfortunately, as the chairman said, Plandi walking me come, emino karem good kai Thomas. And there are many reasons for that. But the most important thing I think that this parliament needs to do, and I think at the end of this session when you all member, you got opportunity to debate them also. Mibla need to give him assurance long all mama, na all pigin ni Mary. Also, this house, I mean, got commitment, law strong in law in order so that we can create a safe and secure environment for our women and girls. I think that's what our women and girls want to hear from this house today. So let me commend the chairman for bringing this debate, and let me also thank the leader of government business for allowing the debate to proceed. There's a key point that we seem to be missing, and I want to draw on what the Prime Minister always says, and that is that he wants to build a strong economy. And I think the chairman of the committee, the Honourable Powes Parkop, alluded to half of our citizens are women. And if we look at the successful countries in this world, they have learned to enhance the talent and the energy of their women. So if we want to be a strong country economically, then it stands to reason that we can't just have half of our workforce being deployed. We need to deploy the other half. And I think that is something when we start to look at and you look at the genesis of the committee, we started off as a committee that was seeking to stand up against violence against women. So we were a gender violence committee in the last parliament. In this parliament is the gender equity that was brought in and changed the definition of the committee. So we are looking more towards not just the violence against women, but also the empowerment of women. And I think there's a key point that also was kind of alluded to by the governor of Morobe in the buai selling at the markets. Life is tough in Papua New Guinea, and I want to particularly speak to the young men out there who have a partner. You yet one and bahad lo lugat in Mary Pigni Blue lo dislakan time. 2 incomes are better than 1. So it makes sense for us to empower women, not just at the national level, but also at the family level, so that the high expenses of living in this country can be met by the family unit. Now, I didn't want to just speak today, but I also wanted to give some statistics. Now, those who were in the previous parliament, I want to thank you for your support when I brought a bill that we called the Glassman Bill to the floor, and some of you will recall. And this House passed that bill unanimously. Mi hama mastru lo tok sabe lo yup lo olgera leader stop olsem. On the 12th of March, the first Glassman by the name of James Mon, Lokumul #1 village in Morobe, sorry Governor, was convicted and imprisoned for 5 years. Now this man, is around also one prayer warrior. And we have a lot of so-called prayer warriors in this country. Naemi go, naemi point him lo one meri, naemi tokolsen des meri, naemi sanguma. You kilimem. Now one meri name blongem Lona Nicole, naemi mama bla 5 piginini. Only katimem, na only kilimem. Because she was accused of sorcery by this man. Now, had we not passed that bill, this Glassman, he would have gone free. Because we passed a law on this floor, I want to commend Her Honor, Justice Polume Kiele, for passing this landmark decision. So first Glassman, I'm back of 5 years, Karabus now, Morobe. And thank you, leaders, for your support. And support play make him na yumi enough lo come up in this kind something. Let me also state that currently before the courts, there are 86 Glassman now only waiting court na stop. 86 pla. We also have 12 that the police released in Jiwaka that need to be rearrested and brought back in. And I want to appeal to the policemen. You bla walking walk bla na karimikam na larim koti walking walk blangem. We cannot give license to these kind of perpetrators. Suppose only thing also in parliament emi week, only thing also in police emi week, na only thing also in judiciary emi week. Only by still go out and making this plaka and bagara come up lol mama. Remember the youngest person that was accused of sorcery, na only rape him, na brook him or bun blongem. She was 5 years old. That happened in our country. It happened under our watch. Now this la parliament must have him neck blow him na talk no God na no more. Stop him. We cannot operate under the disguise of Christianity and call ourselves prayer warriors. Na by me come go na maki mo bla Mary. Mama bla fight bla beginning na talk em tasole sanguma kill him. What kind of country are we? We must strengthen the enforcement of our laws. We must make sure that our laws work. There is one more gap in our legal system that I have to mention. And again, it is a failure of law enforcement. Anonit lo law you mean now, as it stands, and I want to address this to the honorable members on this floor, Madam Assistant Speaker. Time one pla, Mary, Emi karim wampla complaint ikam lo police o se man blong emi paiti mem o suti mem lo knife o brukim lekhan blong emo bagarapi mol pikinini. If the woman does not pursue the case as a complainant, the case is dropped automatically. Now in Australia, they have a no-drop policy. That means that suppose Mary emi poret long gona koti mani wokim despla bagarapi kamap long em. Policeman yet he can go na kissing case na pursue it. And that is a change we need to make to our criminal laws to protect our women and girls. Plenty old man you may find out time complaint come lo Mary or Mary say go report him lo police like go na walk him walk find him out na carry me come lo court. That's all Mary say go back na withdraw him. There are 18,000 cases a year of violence perpetrated against women and girls in our country. Leaders, 18,000. Those are police statistics. Out of the 18,000, only about 200 get convicted and sent to jail. Suppose me man lo paiti Mary or rape Mary me some law, the statistics show very clearly that the law will not be able to catch me. Biget blumi by Gwanda Moyet. If 18,000 cases of violence against women and girls occur every year and only 200 end up in prison, we have a serious problem. Me like give him strong long police minister and ask him you me play walk lo try lo kiss him sample more through lo committee all walkman na walk Mary by stop inside lo display area lo deal want them all cases belong domestic na sexual violence. So you strong him inside long city blomibla long lay Mosby na Mount Hagen but look to lo Olgada province and make sure we have special and if I can request that they are female officers. Suppose you can make him Olsem, you will be doing a lot to help our women and girls out there. One plus something, me sabe looking at Olsem, me feel you may need lo walking, lo talk English, only call him positive discrimination. When we see that 50% of our population is unable to participate for various reasons in the economic and other developmental agendas of our country, we need to discriminate positively. You may need to support him or marry more long old man. Now a lot of people will say we need to support the men more. I think that in this country, middle old man, we have an unfair advantage. This is a country with a high level of violence that's going on that's only good for men in their prime. Suppose you marry, suppose you lapun, or suppose you piginini, this country is not for you. You strong blaman that's all, you can move forward in this country. We see that in everything, from elections, we see that in our communities, and that needs to change. Violence alone is not going to move this country forward. It is a country where men and women hold hands and contribute together. That's the kind of country that will move forward, as the chairman, the Honorable Powers Parkop said. I would like to see at some point a bill being brought to the floor so we can make an amendment so that we can have independent enforcement of law. Police yet look him heavy come up, police yet he go lame complaint, yet work him investigation, yet prosecute him, yet finish him this case. Let us not put the burden of proof on the complainant, particularly in the case of abuse, domestic violence, or serious violence against women and girls. Because time heavy kisi Mary number one time na imi sana bimem lo ay blokot o force him lo walk him statement you me walk him desla olga something antap lo desla Mary number two time ke. You know leaders yesterday and because of the work we do there was a video circulated of about 6 men raping a woman. I couldn't bring myself to watch that video. One of the rapists actually took the video of them doing it and posted him on social media. Me feeling Olsem, There's no perpetrators here, only no poret in law block country. Only no poret in parliament where isabe work in law. Because suppose only poret, only no nap kisim video long, only at work him something now by kira put him can go to public. They wouldn't have done it. There is a flagrant and very vigorous rejection of the rule of law in our country by some members of our communities. Government in need law so him strong long em through long police force, through long prosecutions, through long all judges. Now you may hold him pass him this kind of line, make him sabe long all. If we have to build a bigger, stronger prison, or 2 or 3 prisons, so we can make sure that these people are punished. Me believe Bhosip Desla, and by cut him down kind of bigger person. We must do our part, which is to bring the amendments and change the laws and toughen the laws. There's a suggestion where Governor Blomorbe making, where we talk about chemical castration. It is done in other countries. Namisa where you plan to laugh. But if that bill comes on this floor, you will have the support, if that amendment comes here, of the people of ECP. It is time we send out a clear, strong message to perpetrators that MIPLA as a country, we are taking a serious stand against these things, just like we did with the Glassman Bill. To conclude, Madam Assistant Speaker, Wante Molgata, all honorable leaders of this House, you know, one of the things you plan to you go house man by talking you all same. You man, you have a duty to defend the women and girls in your community. I think you plan to you miss on this house, you miss on this. And I think the call is now coming. We have our young people up there watching this session, plus our civil society, our women are sitting behind us. And I think it's very important that the men in this house show in one strong voice that we will stand up and defend our women and girls. It starts in this house.
Yeah.
It starts with our actions, leaders. We have already shown that we are willing, through the committees, through the law that we have already passed in this house, but we must do more. We must break the cycle of violence. We must catch the perpetrators, and we must put them away. This challenge me put me come long government side, Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, one time leader of government business. We have good organizations, non-governmental organizations. The law that I brought here was drafted by volunteer Papua New Guineans who are working with the Tribal Foundation. There are many good organizations out there that are willing to draft laws for us. I am willing to bring a private member's bill or several private members' bills if the government will not do it. But I say again, to all the men in this house, it's up to us. Let us send a message that is going to tell our women and girls that we value them, and we will commit ourselves to creating a safe and secure environment for all of our women and girls. Thank you, Madam Assistant Speaker.
Governor Bird, thank you to us. I think that this have time. Me looks like long mama sit down. Lohan kais, blomi lo here. Thank you lo you plakam. Long namel long Parliament. Thank you lo kam. Or get a pikini lo han shoot blomi left side. Thank you lo you plakam lo kam witness this important session to the tail of afternoon.